Hello everybody and welcome back to Dickie's Videos, where no war game remains unplayed. Further ado, here we are again with Field of Glory 2 and another battle analysing video. This is for the Carthaginian versus Syracusan forces. This is for the rise and fall of Carthage. If you've not seen the previous ones, look in the playlist. It's brilliant. I really enjoyed doing this kind of look back at the thing. I'm trying to like mirror my face here as well. I hope you guys can appreciate that. Yeah, it doesn't work. So we had a good victory with the Syracusan force against the Carthage. We're just going to follow through this video. This video is slightly longer than my other one. We're going to click play. I'm going to be jotting stuff down with my epic pen, and there we go. So here we are. We're going to look on to deployment. So we'll skip straight ahead to my deployment choices, and then I can go about what I thought about doing. So here we are. So this is kind of what I ended up deploying. We're a bit gotta skim back. Oh, here we go. I've learned how to do YouTube and stuff. So here we go with the forces so far. So as you can see, we have a single unit of cavalry to the left side. The main reason I only put a single unit cavalry there because of the big rough terrain element on the left side, which would hamper a lot of these heavy foot units to the center, and of course light line, which matter, but also we have heavy chariots and cavalry to the right side. The reason I chose having 3 units of chariots are good, because I like chariots, and also the combination of the more manoeuvrable cavalry on the rear for counter charges, but also evading maneuvers. Of course, the single unit of cavalry is just to do an advance to see if I can get lucky if he doesn't deploy anything on the left side. But yeah, pretty secure there with what I deployed, and we've got a mix of course the heavy troops in the centre, the heavies, the decent troops, the impact, of course the offensive spearmen, and of course the warband, which I do call glass hammers. So we'll click it play and see what happens, and see where I deploy and see what he deploys, and we'll have a little bit of a talk about it. This is me just gibbering. I kind of like what the opponent deployed because he gave me a great advantage. Like I said, this is of course taken from the battle analyzer of deployment, and then I've just added the battle on after this, if you noticed. But you got to understand the entire video, you have to watch it from the beginning and see all segments put together to thoroughly enjoy them. And also, I don't have a horrible cough anymore, which is fantastic. There's me talking about something, just waiting for myself to catch up. I could just do that. Nope, that's doing volume. So I think we're going to see his forces. So there we go. I was really happy with what he did here, mainly because of his deployment, and of course I was kind of over the moon a little bit about where he was in this whole thing. So as you can see, on this center, so we've got, of course, he's now, let me see if I get a better, just slightly better voice. There we go, that's better. We can actually look at a whole dividend of his forces. So as you can see, he's got a good 1, 2, 3, 4 units of lights in that selection to the left. He's got the pellets in the center, which are swordsmen and javelins. But as you can tell, we spoke about this in the previous Syracusan, my Syracusan plus his Carthage. The number of lights. This is 1, 2. No, that's not 3, 4. It's 4 segments of. I think 4, 1, 2, 3. Is it 3 or 4? I think it's 4. Yeah, 4 segments of, and I think this centre is actually road and it's not rough terrain. So we've got 4 squares. So in theory, don't buy too many medium troops. He built. I mean, like I said, I can understand where he came from. I mean, I could see his point, but I've got I got 5 units, and I think the reason I chose a 5th one was that I could slink it around here, but also in conjunction with the cavalry, which would give extra cohesion checks to that left side. And of course, we've got the heavy hitters, which are going to mince the terrain, because I know if these medium troops go anywhere near these African spearmen, they're going to melt away completely. So we'll just delete that there. As you can see, we've got the line of lights, and what I loved as well is he's gone all cavalry to the right side, all cavalry, but also a good point that my opponent did, he had a line of javelin cavalry that is going to harass and push forward. I'm not drawing random pictures of things with this little thing, it's just a thing. And of course his light line there, and he's got heavy troops which are in tandem with mine, but I think he outnumbers me actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What's 13? What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 12 units of infantry to my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 units. Heavies though, that's just heavies. So I've got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. What's that? So near enough, what give or take a unit of difference there. Also, I'm hammering out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cavalry based thing. Plus he's got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5. I could have went all cavalry to the right side, but I feel having cavalry on both flanks would always be beneficial for flanking action, which you'll see further on. And if you've seen the video pre to this without me talking about it, you'll understand why I did that. So I'm just going to click play and I'll stop and talk about certain parts of the video when we need to. Good luck Stormcrow, because he is a really fun game. As you can see, the light javelin cavalry advancing forward, cavalry positioning, and which I didn't pick up on in my deployment is this, of course, river. This little bead of land actually made a big difference. And of course some people on the Slytherin Discord on the Field of Glory 2 mentioned about the rough terrain not being a funneling action. It funnels. I've said it in my I can't even pronounce it now. My opponent's army, it funnels heavy troops into this position. That's all it does. It just funnels heavy troops into there like that, into this mosh pit here. It may not be directly, you may be ignoring it, but it does makes a massive issue to funnel them in there, regardless of what anybody says. And which, agree or disagree, post your comments below, because I'd love to hear them and see my feedback. I love watching this video back, and I can't hear myself, so I don't know what I'm talking about, but it makes me think of other things that I'm doing. Okay, so the pellets are forward, which I do give credit to CM Speedy if he's ever watching, because he's an amazing player. And of course, the light action begins with a couple of I want to press C to click the combat log. And of course, in the first thing I do to kind of make a slight advantage is drop the general into that subgroup here, pushing the general for that POA advantage against a general unit to that left side. That was my forefront thing there, if I didn't mention it on the game itself. And there we go for the charge. I think the pellets would probably advantage us massively there eventually. And this is what one mistake I think, and is letting me have that on that left side, because there is nobody else to counter this apart maybe from a unit here to come and counter that on that rough piece of terrain. There's nobody counter that. I mean, it will be too late for him to grab a cavalry unit from the extreme right to bring it to the extreme left. So occasionally here it's just the lights engaging. Remember, lights are just as important as the other units because of the damage they can inflict. Like I said, there we go. We're using that terrain to funnel. I don't think, if I could click that, I don't think these guys are actually in that terrain. That's a track, and I didn't notice that in deployment. So in my Syracusan list. I can't pronounce it again now. I forgot to pronounce it. We got 5 cavalry units there. I thought I had 4. Sorry, I got 5. I've got 3 chariots and 2 cavalry. I do apologise if I'm mispronouncing anything. His list is medium and heavy. My other list was just heavy, and I just ignored the terrain. But I think that still, like I said, it still made an interesting factor. Like we said, we started to hammer each other, and I've got to say, I make a huge mistake on this left. A huge mistake. And I kind of regretted it after I did, because I think I would have got more points overall in this round. But we'll see. Here we go, marching down. One thing I didn't want to do is, of course, I was waiting here for him. I was waiting here. There was no way I was going to shorten the frontage of that battle there. I wanted to be spread out so I could countercharge, charge flanks. This is the main reason I stood back, and I tried to do some, like, not be cheesy, but just be slightly more tactical and be a bit more patient. Field of Glory pays to be patient sometimes, even though sometimes you may have the complete advantage of sitting on a hill. Sometimes doing all things like that. Like I said, he starts to really beat me down with the light fire here, and particularly well. I'm happy to have that cavalry on the left. I really am. And here comes the javelin troops. Perfect technique in countering me. Starting to take that strength number down, increasing that POA modifier against that cavalry unit. So there is a mix of heavy, veteran armoured and armoured cavalry to that right side. Of course, these mercenary hoplites are all to the centre. So this is what I do wrong. So I charge the Italian foot in, thinking the cavalry can sit there waiting to flank. And I didn't see that. I didn't move it to that square. I could have moved it one square forward because of the thing, and I didn't. So I tried to retreat some lights back. I charged the Spanish. Of course, he runs away. I bring the Ligurian foot to the left, knowing that the fact is he's got no heavy foot on his extreme right side. So the Italian foot, the combat ensues. Very, just not really anything fun so far. And we're just advancing up. I wanted to keep all them veteran African spearmen together because that unit in tandem is brutal. So here I come. I try to get smart here, and the inkling of this was I was hoping that as this cavalry unit was here, charging the unit there, and then it would retreat here. And then a unit further forward with more AP points would be able to charge the rear. That was my think there. So if I can't remember how many AP points the chariot has now off the top of my head, I'll see it when I click it. But my thing was here to charge here and then hit this unit in the rear. That was my thought there, but it didn't particularly. I don't think it actually paid out very well the way I wanted it to. Here we go. I dropped the general to put the POA in there. So, more likely they would flee. Then I advance just slowly. So I'm turning just in case he charges to do counter charges. And this is an interesting one. So there he goes against my light troops, and I thought they would evade, but they stood there. Pellets. Indecisive. Here we go. This is the first impact, roughly equal ground, but this is one make a mistake. I made a mistake there by chucking that unit forward, and then it's now hit by two other units, and that POA advantage is now stacking in their favour. There we go. Get a nice little fragment. But he's turned to face the left, which is interesting, which I didn't see actually in my first run through. Archers firing away, being very annoying. Fragmented, good drop. I've got to say, I like both of these lists. So here comes the cavalry back again. Plenty of AP points to be annoying. Now him forming up on this right side and doing a charge. So I evade, which is brilliant. Which is brilliant. So we fragment. But this is where I get a little bit zealous and I get ambitious. There you go. First mistake, first major mistake there. I'll play that on a little watch. So rather than charging left side, charging to his line, I charge left. So my first mistake here, exposing a massive flank either side here, which could be abused, especially here and here. Mr. Yorke, you. It's problem is overzealousness. I get a point where I'm playing. I'm being very aggressive. So this is why I've got the cavalry on the left. It's brilliant because now I've got a free run. So I changed the general unit to the centre with the Spanish. Hope giving them extra POAs. Get pushed back, and there it is. Mr. Yorke, Mr. Yorke, what did you do? Why did you do it? I did it because I got excited. That's why. I make mistakes, but that's the fun of the game. Win or lose, it is fun regardless. But it's not end of the world just yet. So we engage with the African spearmen that will just grind troops down. So here we are. We're a bit of a. Unfortunately. So I dropped the general in the thing, so we get a good impact. Back to disrupted. That impact, warband, that combination is brilliant. So trying to retreat the lights back. Now we're just thoroughly engaging all of the line. Most of the hoplites and citizen hoplites are all very much the same in combat POAs. Just there's very little difference. So I decided to get a flank attack there, which I did. And they, of course, are going to get grind down by them hoplites. The fallback was good there, and I can't push them through because they've already moved. And I realised I made a mistake. I'm like fretting right now. I'm fretting. If you watch the battle itself without me narrating it, I'm just unhappy. Here we go. This is where I get brave. So decide to charge. Lucky hockey. So this is what I spoke about, but this was all a little bit luck that unit did flee to the left. This unit was in tandem looking there. You see, I was playing very risky here because he could have just chucked that cavalry or to the left side, and I would have just had a time. He wouldn't have done maybe very much if he wasn't engaging, but it wouldn't have been pretty. And we get the flank, and it's going to drop like a wafer thin mint. Love it, because these chariots... And it gives me time to push these chariots to that right side, and then we get the overrun. And we're in a little bit of trouble here, but the chariots are tough. But we know now we can just chuck everything, and also hook that right side further. So here we go. We decide to throw a couple of javelins, moving the warband up to do some pushing. And that Spanish unit is particularly ineffective because it's in a really bad position. And we know there's nothing I can do about it. I did think about pushing that cavalry unit there, but I don't think... they just need to threaten them to hold them some units back. So here come javelins on the right. So here's the charge. We stand. Remember, he flanks me here, but it's not a flank. And this is where I get even more luckier now. Here's the evade. You see, we're a bit... My right side now has... It's moved in a little bit. It's actually encaved, or it's concaved. Yeah, concaved. So he's got the general on the hoplite unit there, looking to the right. So I'm not happy on this right side. Holes are appearing everywhere. Also here... there'll be if my African spearmen don't move up, there's a flank possibility here, but also he's just all over here right now, everywhere. He's on me. It's really bad. Here comes the flank of that mistake. Hold firm though, which is fantastic. Here comes the mercenary hoplites into that one unit that is just holding like a beast. Unfortunately, a pushback, but not a defeat. Kind of saved me there a little bit. And there goes the lights, which are fragmented. There you go again. Butchering them. So if they don't drop, I'm in a little bit of trouble. So grinding some of his lights down. A lot of disruptions on my side to him. There goes the pellets. Of course, not dropping any cohesion due to the being lights and not dropping mediums. So I think I realised that I need to fight all the fragmented unit first, which is the light unit on the left, which doesn't really do very much. Fighting the lights on the centre, which drops them down, giving me a couple % victory there. And then, watch this, just boom. Back again, out of harm's way. So I'm thinking at this time, retreating back my lights. Trying to engage here, this is what I try and do here. is try and get the flank. So I try. So the fort here is, let me just play this forward. There we go. I can actually end it there. There you go. So at some things, if he swings these forward, these will engage. These will flank right. That was my fort in that entire situation to that left. Not dire, but I made that mistake, and I've got to live with it. But I think we can come back from that. Here we go. Because we want to get the impact phase with the Spanish, or equal terms, changing that POA up. So we need to push this right a little bit, but it's looking a bit thing. And luckily here, the cavalry getting disrupted and then fragmented there. So we're just turning. We're not engaging just yet. And we decided to go in with the Africans. But I don't understand my thought on that. I think they have to go in there to level that combat up in the centre. So we've got to disengage the units as we see them coming into that right side. There we go. Hold firm. It's that unit in the centre there is in a bit of trouble. And here comes really good for that one extra cavalry unit. I mean, he's got, how many units has he got engaged there? He's got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got the 5th unit, which is 3, and which is about to do some craziness. And then he backs off, but fragmented, which is better than anything. And then I realise I can get to that flank. I don't think it's a flank attack on that right side, though, but it's enough that a turn extra, if that chariot more likely will be there, that he could push around to that right side. So pretty good, looking really good so far at the end of turn 6. Some slight problems with disruption on the left, which we're trying to fight off with. He has indented our line, so our line is going like this at the moment, which is not great. And it actually helps me later on in the game, but also that push through with the warband, brilliant unit. Impact also the POA of the general in there, and I've done that well on my opponent's side as well. So the other video I did of the Syracusan forces, I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong again. And there we go. So we've got a good flank on the left. We're coming up to a good flank on the right side. There we go with the hold firm. Acceptable losses. This is all I'm talking about. Disrupted the cavalry there. All about acceptable losses. What I can happily lose without losing the game. And there we go with the impact. This unit in the centre is just got 1, 2, 3 half decent units against this citizen hoplite, but it's holding 3 units up and pushed back. So my lines are starting to be encrumped here, concave action here, and there we go. So he is outnumbering me on this right side now, which is starting to worry me at this point in the game. And another pushback there, just making it easy for him to try and outmaneuver and outflank, but also adding on them extra combat modifiers. There's the charge. Come on, warband, break his legs. And there goes the Italian foot, fragmented, which that bad move. I think that flank would have been completely different. So there we go. He pushed me back on the left with the cavalry, but it's just going to take me one turn to do that. And then we've got pushback on his mercenary hoplites with the African spearmen, which is good. So a mixed bag on that rough terrain. I didn't need that many medium troops. And this is the mistake he made on this opposite game, was he bought too many medium troops with him. And there goes the cavalry on the right, giving me, oh, here we go, here they go. I love this part. There you go. So the warband. Watch the warband just like run away. Look, bye lads. Come back and help the battle, you know. Come back and help your fellow comrades. I get unlucky. Oh, we've got a rally on the Spanish with the general, and there we go. So I think we get unlucky. What was that combat modifier? What was it? Is it there? I'm going to pause that to see what it is, because I can't remember what it was. So I decide to, I think if it was bad, to still do it to make sure I could try and charge. Here we go. Yeah, I'm going to get mauled. I think because we are lightly protected, his POAs are massive in this combat, so I'm not expecting to win it with no front. But I think it's just the point of holding him up for the flank. But it says we're roughly equal turn, but no. I'm not entirely sure what I'm talking about in this video now. Yeah, it's acceptable loss, and then I decide that I'm not going to charge. You see, even though he's in rough terrain, and he will actually probably beat me down a bit, it's the dropping cohesion, just to get that slight advantage so my other troops could do other damage. And there we go, that charge. That was a flank attack, because he didn't move the mercenary hoplites to fill that space. So maybe he just forgot about it and made a mistake. There we go, warband into there. It is a negative combat there for us. But we realised we can turn one of the chariots around. So we dropped the POA commander into the left unit to benefit from it, and then we're going to get into the cavalry there. I was hoping they didn't get pushed back, which was nice. So we thought, oh, might as well go for the impact charge against their thing, which was brilliant because he pushed him back. So we're looking pretty sweet here at the moment. But of course, this mid-right flank is slowly getting messed up. He's got the POAs, the commanders, but also the better troops. There we go, a double drop. Nobody else dropping with him, which was lucky. Good disruption there of the Italian, view my Italian troops. I'm trying to do this last fragmented unit, but we get a good pushback there. Oh, we're ready for it. Oh, we held firm. I love that part. But not looking good. We've still got a slight advantage. We're slightly ahead. Still looking good. Still look good. It's really interesting to look back on these videos. I got to say, I see you a little bit more each time. Okay, there's the chart, the left side combat, which is fine. Oh, the Italian gone? No. Got so lucky, but then here come the hoplites against my veterans. My veterans are brilliant. Back to you. He should have moved that unit. He should have had that unit. Now the Italian break. So he should have moved this unit here a turn ago to stop me flanking this one. This would have been completely different. This would probably not have fragmented. This would have holded a lot longer on this flank. But he maybe, like I said, maybe he forgot about it. But it would have been a lot different. So my troops starting to struggle actually on this medium terrain. And there we go. Things start to get a little bit worse for us here actually. But we've got good disruption through the citizen against the mercenary hoplites. This is what I wanted. Oh, that disruption on that charge was brutal. But it was the impact phase, remember? The impact phase. That's why the warband was so critical in this game. So here's the flank attack, but not losing disruption thingy because of the cavalry. So he decides to shoot both the chariot and the cavalry. He charges in here, but he loses the impact. But it's the right side. We've got that flank with the cavalry. We've got two flanks with two cavalry in one turn. And there we go, the mercenary hoplites in the centre, auto braking due to losses, not and the mercenary hoplites that got pushed away got disrupted there on that right side, left side even. Yeah, these guys right here, they got disrupted for that. They got disrupted on the impact as well. So 2 times in that game we got saved by impact phase rather than the combat phase. A good rally. So interesting, so amazing. There we go, and we're like unleash the beast, because why not now? But he holds out. We've got to be careful here. We chuck the POA commander to the unfragmented, and there we go for the charge, just to drop their cohesion. That was the only thing to do that for, to level that playing field up there a little bit. And we know we can't get pushed back because we've got the unit right behind us, and they just hold on. And there we go with the cavalry. So we go with the cavalry. No, we've got 3 flanks this turn. 2 on the cavalry, 1 on infantry, 2 on infantry, and 1 on the cavalry. And then we push that unit, fragmented unit, which we end up chasing for a couple of bloody more turns. And there we go. Brilliant. There we go. Easy pickings. But it's just trying to make up the shortfall from him just eroding my flanks. And there we go, we get a fragment on the mercenary hoplites, which is great. So we're holding out here, keeping my lights back because they're just getting in the way at the moment in time. And then we auto break, putting us in a bog situation here. bog trotters. So we sit here and think, okay, we've got nothing to do with these lights apart from just shoot the bejesus out of him. There we go again. And we're just holding that right. Remember, my right flank has fallen in, but at the advantage of my chariots being dominating the right side, able to push over to that right side further. So we sort the general to the right side of the combat, which then he gets pushed back. So I'm happy with that. We charge, and then what happens there? Brilliant. Not a flank attack, but next turn would be a flank attack if that's not going to change. So looking good at this top of turn 8 at the moment in time. Unfortunately, a couple of bubble drops, which I'm still very confident here at this moment in time, but he's going to get a couple of flanks very soon. The cavalry would get slowly ground down on that right side, and there's that fleet unit on the top map. So yeah, looking pretty happy. So let's see what happens in his turn. That warband unit is still in the rear, doing nothing. And pushing back. You see, this is kind of a lucky for me here actually. This where this unit has fallen. I don't know if my direction has changed by now. So my direction should be facing this way. So the best thing about this is the fact is he's got a unit right here. This unit cannot be pushed back. So he's now stuck facing this way, and then for the charge there. So it maybe happened accidentally, but accidentally it benefits me majorly. There's the charge, the impact. That could have dropped a level of cohesion if he got lucky with the light charge. So there's the evade, and then straight into the warband. But the warband are made of tougher stuff. They're a big unit. Disruption on the chariot, which I'm not particularly worried about because it's just doing flanking attacks next turn. So yeah, he's got a couple of flanks that are gonna be painful. So the left side's looking a bit crazy at the moment in time due to the fact is I've got disrupted, now fragmented. But the best thing about it, I didn't even touch his heavies. The point there was the good disruption, but a pushback, but still in that explosion bubble for the cohesion drop on the Italian foot to the left. So some fights there, stopping that flank, which is good. Guys on the left, on the right burst. Do they take the mercenary hoplites with them? No. And he also, I don't think he overcharges it. Now I think the Italian foot on the left are going to drop. I can't remember if they drop the other Italian foot unit next to him. Nope, they fragment the Spanish on the left. These let's play that when it gets that. These units here are doing fantastically. So the two African spearmen units here, fighting their own. It took me a little bit back and forth here with this combat on the rough terrain. This cavalry unit changing that up, it really made a difference on that left side. If that cavalry unit wasn't there, I think it would have been more of a bloodier fight, and I think I would have probably lost. So we're just probably 3/4 away through this game right now, so things are looking good. It did look a bit dicey mid-early game, but I think we pulled it back with a couple of flank charges, and also that flank charge to the right. So he actually had that pushover from the previous turn into both turns, so that really helped me. So the domination of that chariot and cavalry fight really paid dividend in the future turns. So I'm happy we did actually go for them chariots in the end. Holding firm because they can't drop twice in a turn. And then here's this flank we want. Just giving it away free there, which I can't particularly complain. And then we decide to go for points with the lights there, so we're just going to chase the lights down. And we decide here I think we turn the warband are back out where I can't remember what we do with that unit next to the general unit. So do we drop the Spanish? Yeah, bring it 22, 32, no 15, 37. Sorry. Yeah, we know we're going to lose that fight with the mediums on the left. Eventually, he's going to start winning there, but this is really bad. I don't know what the combat modifier was on the left side. So we start to break a couple of his units down, but he's broken our ranks a little bit here. We decide to hammer the veteran hoplites with the lights. So massively just dirty combat here. Getting a nice disruption. I think we turn because the other unit to that right side here is now fragmented. But we're going to get flanked here, unfortunately. So he's got one flank at the moment in time. So he did well on this entire centre. The centre is his, but the flanks are particularly mine. The African spearmen, literally paying their dues. They're such a good... And they go evading that bloody... He gets so lucky. So yeah, looking pretty good, but still ominous here on the left. And then there the Spanish go on the left side, bringing... disrupting the light javelin unit to this left side. But it's not all death just yet. It's getting a bit juicy. But I think, like I said, we're quite dominant on that left side. And then back to his turn. So like I said, we're probably about 6 minutes towards the end of this video. Pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with what we did on this battle. You see, now the cavalry on the left is a little bit unimportant. It's just there to be annoying. But unfortunately, overcharges here, and it being very disordered and not fighting well, gets pushed back, which it's done its job. Left side still a little bit. Here's the flank. The unit... this unit rallied here, actually. The unit of mercenary hoplites, so it's a bit more useful. Auto break there, my fault. There's the flank on the mercenary hoplites from his mercenary hoplites. Hold firm, which was lucky. Give me a chance to pull them chariots to that right. And there's the auto break to losses, so losing 75% more of... no, I think it's like 50% because they're average. There he goes. Oh, hold firm. Cavalry back on that centre. On the centre right even, not centre. So we've got a lucky fragment on the veteran hoplites there. I think it's better on a citizen. Hold firm with the hoplites. Come on. And we'll break the citizen on the right, which is good. I don't know if that disrupts the... No, it doesn't disrupt the thing. But unfortunately... They fell back, which saved my bacon a little bit. And the chariot rallied on the right. So he's broken through a lot of my lines, but we are really smashing him up. And there we go. African spearmen literally doing amazingly. Amazingly. So we turn around to fight the Spanish unit on that rough terrain. There's no point sending our heavies there. And again, we charge the cavalry, and it gets out of bloody town. Can you believe it? I've chased it for like 4 turns now. So there we go against the flanked unit again. So we decided to go for points here a little bit, going with the chariot, and they're definitely fragmented. So there we go. I don't think I even catch him. No. Rolled low. So there we go. We decide to push out here, get out of the way, rather than trying, because oh, a second. Oh, I've missed that part now. There we go. We'll play it back from here. So the cavalry unit that is very worn down to the right. So this unit here, as it's worn down, we didn't want to make it engage this intact unit with the POA of the general in there, because it will just drop really badly. So there's just no point now happening. So we're happy for that. Of course, the chariots. I'm just, like I said, I'm point scoring here more than anything else, because I know we're particularly ahead at 49 points, and the 60 being the breaking in this game. This is why we go here, because we want to get out. Because I think they'll probably the light cavalry could probably beat me there. So there we go. This is what messes up here. I'm sure there was an advantage. We got actually disrupted on the Italian foot, which I thought was a bit naughty. So we're turning the African spearmen around to go and start dealing with some of his main infantry line that is busting through our line here horribly. Yeah, that unit of citizen hopper African spearmen is in some problems. I love the Carthaginian list. I love the Syracusan. I can't pronounce it now. I'm tongue-tied. So there we go. I think that was a good turn, top of turn 10. I think we're starting to worry on the mid right, and then we decide not to charge. We decide to get out of it and to flank the Italian foot if possible. So back and forth, but like I said, we've got a really good round. That middle unit is in some pain. Look at it, 3 units on it, and it's disrupted. Oh, I didn't want to fight it because I knew I was going to lose it. I was chicken to click them buttons. There's the auto brake. But no one taking incursion checks around them because they're on their own, because we've abandoned them. I don't know if... I mean, he has a lot of troops in the centre, but it's not amazing. It's not got like it's got tons of troops. See, I've got definitely enough cavalry. There we go again. That Italian foot unit just kicking ass. There's the break for me, bringing him back to some points there. And he's turned the Spanish to face the Spanish units on that left side. Then veterans still holding the line there. There we go. This is what I'm talking about. This cavalry on the right side near my head, which is trying to kill. And there we go. He's forming his line to look to the right side where the warband is. And nice to know we break them hoplites. Off they go. And they're just running away, which is the good thing about them unit. They could just bolt out. The cavalry rallied on the left. And we're down to turn 11, 13 left. And the cavalry charged again. And we missed them. So he's definitely got the centre. The centre is the flanks. And we finally get the charge on the Italian foot on the left. Brilliant. That was annoying. And I think we charge here to break them because they were being bloody annoying. So 57%. We're not far off winning this game. And we decide to charge into the Spanish. Spanish unit being very nulled down there. And then we're just going to pull over to this right side to reinforce. So we just turn in. The problem is they're just heavy foot and really slow. So we decide to the fort about here. The fort here. So this is the fort here, ladies and gentlemen, bit of thing. So even though this unit is on rough terrain in this corner, I'm going to be at a massive disadvantage. But him just getting the disruption is worth being moderately disrupted for. So this charge here is going to be worth it. That is the main thing. It is going to be worth that drop in disorder. So here comes the warband in the rear. Finally coming back to the battlefield, and the lights then back again, harassing his main line. No, we retreat. Oh, we think, bugger it. I think we're playing points here a little bit now, so we try and chase down these lights. Nope, just loves it. And we miss them. Oh, we actually charged the rear. I remember that, actually. I don't think we did anything. Yeah, and here we are. Oh, God, that combat is not great. Ugh. There's no point moving that fragmented light javelin unit in the rear. So looking pretty good on the flanks, but the centre, like I said, is just a mess. He started to play well. He had like one maybe unit outnumbering on there, but I don't think it was massive. I think it was just because I got pushed back a couple of times. And there's the cavalry chasing the Italian foot to the left, the Italian foot fleeing to the centre, and the Spanish to the far left. And there we go. We got a victory because of that. So yeah, we'll stop that there on the bigger side. So I'll give you a quick rundown. The centre was brilliant for me. We got that one pushback with the warband that flew up to the top here. He had our line went like this, but that push he did here, which avoided this warband unit that attacked up here, my chariots by luck could turn to the left because he went all cavalry on the far right, but also having that single unit of cavalry that actually did some really good attacking work to the left side, but also that medium unit of Lingingu foot or Lingrini or Langini or Lingrini did really well, but a solid battle, so at the moment in time I'm 4th, it said, on the tournament, but we'll see how far that goes. But I was pretty happy with that performance with the Syracusan and the Carthaginian forces, so I'm really happy. I want to say a thank you for my opponent, but also people who have seen this video, clicking that like, subscribe button, but also coming back for more Field of Glory 2 content. Really enjoyed this kind of talk through, and hopefully it came through in a meaningful manner for everybody. And of course we'll see everybody on the next round 2, whenever that will be. And have a great day, ladies and gentlemen, and bye bye.